What is good, everybody? More riding time. Yes. Oh man, it's a good thing I love this thing because yesterday did my longest ride yet, and I noticed some people, this may be like, oh man, those are rookie numbers, you gotta bump those numbers up, but did probably close to 300 miles round trip for some good old 4th of July celebrating on the motorcycle. And good God, I'm just now realizing how filthy my mirrors are. Because yeah, I got caught in the rain. That was unexpected. The forecast was showing, nice, beautiful, clear skies like that. But yeah, suddenly rain. And it was quite funny because, see, I've ridden in the rain while being a little squid missile here. And it sucks when you're going 75 miles an hour and all of a sudden you're getting pelted by water that feels just like rocks hitting you. Yeah, doesn't feel good at all. My parents, though, they weren't familiar with that. So, I see the rain starting to come and I'm like, hey, yeah, you guys want to, pull over under one of the underpasses here? They're like, nah, that's fine. We'll just keep going, ride through it. It's just rain. Well, yes, I agree. Rain is not that bad to ride in. I'm not afraid of the riding in the rain. But it hurts. It hurts a lot. And, see, they weren't ready for that. So, yeah, they realized after we passed one of the little overpasses there that, oh, hey, this kind of sucks. So, yeah, we waited till the next one, pulled over there for, a little bit. And, yeah, that was a rather fun experience. Now, again, riding the rain, I don't mind it. I've done it before. I don't prefer it just because, then I'm soaking wet and I gotta, do my chain maintenance and everything again, even if I just did it before that ride. So it's just annoying. I'm not afraid of it or anything. I'm not, I'm a fair weather rider by choice, I guess, just because I don't want to do all the extra maintenance behind riding in inclement weather. I'm not afraid of it. I know how to do it, but I just don't like to because of those reasons. But if I get caught in the rain, I get caught in the rain. Oh well. I'm not gonna, start freaking out like, oh, what do I do? Like, no, you just ride. Take it easy. Don't floor it going over those things. Because, man, maybe it's because of my experience. So, a little backstory here on my experience as a rider. I've been doing this for about 8 years now, so not any incredible length of time, but basically my first bike was a 1980 Kawasaki KZ750. I guess that was kind of setting the tone for what I would be buying in the future. And yeah, I mean, it was a fun bike, honestly. Like, I kind of wish that I still had that bike sometimes, just because it was really nice. It was really well maintained. The paint was in immaculate condition. You had a few little dings here and there, but it wasn't bad. You could tell that it was definitely taken care of. And thing only had like, I think 16,000 miles on it. Granted, the odometer, or the cluster rather, could have been swapped at some point in its life, but whatever. The thing was in great physical condition, and mechanically, I'd say it was about as good as it could be for, let's see, at the time, a 35-year-old bike. 35? No, 37-year-old bike. And yeah, I did enjoy that bike. My only problem with it, and this is why I got rid of it, is at the time I wasn't as comfortable doing mechanical work as I am now. Now I worked on my cars and stuff, so I knew how to get my hands dirty and all that, but I didn't have the same confidence in it that I have now. So the bike needed some mechanical work done to it. It had a major issue where it would not hold timing. So I would adjust the timing on it, and I'd go on one ride, and the timing would be off again. So the bike was constantly vibrating like crazy. Just didn't have the proper performance that it should have. Now again, it was a twin popper from 1980. I'm not expecting it to be like this, but it was just vibrating like crazy. It wasn't firing at the right timing. So of course I go to take a 10-minute ride down the freeway, and my hands are numb because of the vibrations. So that's just unsafe. You can't feel your hands, you can't feel your controls and all that. Just not an ideal situation. So I got rid of it. Got myself a CTX 700. That was my first brand new vehicle, and that was a fun thing. I wasn't even planning on that, but kind of glad that it did work out that way. And I kept the CTX 700 for 3 or 4 years. That's the bike that I have the most time on, the most experience on. And anyway, going back to the KZ750. Within my first month of riding, I got a lifetime of experience. So right off the bat, this was within my first... Well, actually, within the first couple of days of me riding. So what I did is I rode a little dirty, bad boy, naughty. I just kind of rode around my neighborhood on it for a little bit before I went and took the MSF course. So I was getting familiarized with how to operate a bike, clutch, where the controls are, doing all that starting, stopping, turns, just general familiarization with how to operate a motorcycle. Now, I grew up on the back of bikes. My family, they've always been riders, so the concept of a motorcycle has never been foreign to me. It's always been something that I've had a passion for, and that I've always just been infatuated with. So getting on one was kind of second nature to me. I just had to learn how to operate the thing. Well, anyway, within those first couple days, I had my first experience with a wild dog deciding to chase me. So that was fun. Then fast forward to when I get my motorcycle license, and within the first week there, I locked up the rear wheel by my own doing. What I did is I was coming off the freeway, and I learned real quick that motorcycles do not like to downshift while they are stationary. So I was coming off the freeway at about 65, 70 miles an hour, and I started downshifting into first gear, holding the clutch in. Obviously not a problem. The clutch is in, transmission is disconnected from the wheel. Doesn't matter what gear you're in. Well, it doesn't matter until your hand slips and that clutch pops out, and suddenly you're in first gear doing 65 miles an hour. Yeah, not fun. Back wheel locked up, and the rear of the bike just started hopping around. Front fork started jiggling, and I'm a brand new rider. So obviously I don't have the experience there to immediately recognize what was going on, but I guess through some, natural instinct of knowing how vehicles work and everything, I just yanked the clutch back in. Didn't fight it, because you do not want to fight death wobble or anything like that. You will only make it worse. So I didn't fight it. I just pulled the clutch in and let the bike ride itself out. because motorcycles want to stay upright. They want to stay in the direction they're going. If you try to fight it, all you're going to do is make the situation worse. So that's just what I instinctively did, and yeah, no problem. The bike righted itself, and I just coasted up to the stoplight, reconsidering my life decisions. Then maybe a few days after that, I'm going to work, and somebody that's parallel parked in the neighborhood, now I'm going too terribly fast, maybe 30 miles an hour, so 25 miles an hour, because I'm in the neighborhood. And somebody that was parallel parked on the curb suddenly decided, I'm coming out. So I panicked, grabbed a footful of rear brake, back wheel started to slide out, panicked from that, released the rear brake, and almost high-sided myself. That was not the first time I almost high-sided myself. Or that was not the last time, rather. Because then, fast forward maybe another week or so, 2 weeks, and I'm coming out of an establishment and hit some gravel or something in the center lane there, and rear end started to slip a little, then suddenly caught and almost high-sided again there. Well, some more fun times. Again, all within like my first 2 weeks. Got caught in a real heavy rainstorm. Looked at the forecast before leaving, everything was fine, then because of this area, it changed. So got to experience riding in the rain. Now that was all fine and dandy. Thankfully, my dad, he's been riding for quite a long time. Back when we lived in California, that was actually his only mode of transportation. He sold his car, and that's all that he took to and from work. So he has a lot of experience. My mom, she grew up on the back of a bike, and she also has been riding since the 90s, I believe. So, two people, that I had immediate access to that had a lot of experience riding. Yeah, we get out, and it starts raining, all that. My dad teaches me this whole little thing of, hey, just follow in the tracks of the person in front of you. So if you're behind a car driving down the road while it's raining, then you would just find their wheel track and follow that, because they're already dispersing the water for you. Your tires then don't need to do the work of dispersing water. So you're just following their wheel track. Well, because he's on a bike, he's only got one set of tracks that he's leaving behind. So I'm following behind him, and we come across a pretty massive puddle. He hits his brakes a bit, slows down. I then have to do the same thing, because obviously I'm not trying to run into him. Well, my mother was behind me. And she didn't want to hit the brakes because she was worried about sliding out. But she knew that she also couldn't not hit the brakes, because then she'd ram into the back of me. So what does she do? She gets on over to the side and puts her feet down to kind of stabilize herself going through the puddle, and rides up along next to me. And I just look over, and I see her, she's got her landing gear deployed, water spraying up from her boots and from her wheels. And I'm just like, what on earth are you doing? This is no time to be showing off. We're not going skiing here. But yeah, then fast forward a little bit more, and I'm on my CTX 700 now. Me and my parents were cruising on down the freeway, and a couch cushion decides, hey, I'm here and I'm a-coming. And it wasn't just like one of those small little, it's a little couch cushion. No, it was one of those, like, you have two couch cushions on the couch that are split in half. It was one of the big ones. And it's just sitting there tumbling down the freeway. And I'm like, okay, let me just, glide on over to this side of the lane. And the couch cushion decides it's gonna glide on over with me. And I'm like, ooh, stop it. Nope, stop, stop. So I get over a little bit more, actually change lanes, and the cushion changes lanes. And at this point, it's, I'm not wanting to make any sudden movements. Again, I'm a new rider. This is, in my first month or so. So I'm not wanting to, make any sudden movements of, just suddenly swerving over or something, for fear of it hitting me and knocking me off balance and then going down at 75 miles an hour. So I just keep gently making my way over, and thankfully that was just enough. It hit the side of my bike, caused it to wobble a little. My ankle hurt a little bit for a little after that, but that was about it. But yeah, what time do I have on here? 89 miles. But yeah, I experienced quite a few things early on, and I live in the city. So I'm constantly around a lot of cars, a lot of morons, and that's how I learned, basically. I was thrown to the wolves right away. So I'm used to doing a lot. It doesn't really concern me for a lot of things while riding. I've also had experience, locking my back wheel up completely, where, traffic is stopped, I slam the brakes, and I finally stop my bike sideways, maybe a foot away from the person's rear bumper in front of me. I mean, thankfully, I haven't gone down. I have dropped bikes, yes. Just, little parking lot drops, or one time in the garage, forgot to put my kickstand down kind of thing. But that's it. I haven't ever actually had a wreck on a bike, thankfully. And hopefully I can maintain that track record. Hey, live to ride, yes sir. But yeah, rain isn't that big of a deal to me until it's just blasting you and you don't have a jacket or anything on, which is entirely my fault. I know. You should always wear your gear, all the time. Trust me, I know. I would prefer to wear gear, but it's just too hot here. I mean, right now it's 91 degrees with probably somewhere between 45 and 60% humidity. It's just not ideal. I've seen videos of bikers getting heat stroke and passing out because they're following all the gear all the time in weather like this. And no, like, again, I know you're supposed to do it. I know it's safer. I know if I ever do go down, the road rash is gonna really suck. But it's a personal choice I'm making. I don't recommend it. I know it's wrong, but it is what it is. Anyway, enough life story stuff, riding experience. Right now, I'm on my way to go meet up with a buddy. We're gonna do some riding. Real excited, ride a road that I've never ridden before, in a state that I've never actually ridden before either. So that'll be interesting. I'll add one more little state to my little riding resume. So this will be a two-parter. I'm not gonna make an hour-long video kind of thing of riding out there and then doing all that riding. So this will be a two-parter kind of thing. So because I want to capture a lot of the riding out there. It's gonna be a lot of probably dead air, just gonna be hearing the sound of the bike. But from what I've heard from him and some other people I know locally that have ridden that road. It's a beautiful road to ride on. So I want to capture that and kind of share that with all of you. Well, you know, like 2 or 3 of you that watch the videos, but somehow one of my videos has almost 100 views. Not sure how that happened, but whatever. I'm not going to complain. Gotta stop for some gas here soon. 2.7 gallons burned. I've only got like a 4.5 gallon tank. I just don't like running it low because I don't want to overheat the fuel pump or anything. So I just have a general rule. I try to fill up around 2.5 gallons burned. I'm really hoping there's a shell up here though, although... Hey. And it looks like there is. Cool. Yep. Exit 11 is my exit. Alright, back on the road. Just had to do a little gas stop. Yeah, I got about 80 miles left. So... D&D mini golf. I wonder if that's like actually like Dungeons and Dragons themed, or if that's, you know, just name that they chose to stand for something else. That'd be so cool if that was actually like D&D themed. That'd be awesome. I would absolutely go to that. Oh, also, small side note, I apologize if there's a bunch of popping. I realized in my last video that there was. That's from my straps on my backpack, smacking the backpack. I think I fixed it. I tried to tie up the straps a little bit, but I don't know if it actually helped. I can still feel it flopping around back there. Nothing I can really do about it, aside from maybe 3D printing some sort of clip that can hold it in place. I've thought about that. I'm terrible at modeling things for 3D printing, so I don't know how I would model that and get it existing. I keep on clicking off this car. I don't know what the cop situation is like here, so I don't want to be the front man speeding. Let's take advantage of some cruise control action. Oh, there we go. Look at that. But I think that will be it for this portion of the ride. I'll get back to you on my way home. So yeah, should be a jump cut right about now.